Okay guys, so I want to talk to y'all about the mirror eye system today and how to properly operate it. This button this switch right here, this is your main power switch. We put a tag on every mirror eye truck that says do not turn off power until the monitors power off. So when we cut our switch off, we need to let those monitors go black before we cut this power off. If not, we have to do a factory reset. It loses all its settings. It gives us a lot of errors. If we'll wait on those to go black before we power off, we avoid those issues. On these mirror eye systems, on this side we have two cameras. We got a main camera and a backup camera. When I say backup, I'm not talking about reverse. I'm talking about if something happens to the main camera, it's automatically going to switch over to the backup camera. Same thing on the passenger side, except we got three cameras. We got a main camera, backup camera, and we have the look down camera that shows us our blind spot. Above our head here, we've got the DVR. This is the button. We'll hit this to make it record. The difference between this and what we normally have with the drive cam will also work off of motion. If we have a sudden stop, a quick turn, it automatically records. Well, this doesn't work that way. You have to mash the button to save that block of time. The footage is there if you don't hit the button. It's just harder for us to find. If you do that, then we got that. So if you're ever in an accident, just mash the button. Here's the shelf that has your button for the DVR I told y'all that would record. Inside on this shelf, there's a dongle here. You see it flashing blue. Make sure that stays plugged in. That does not need to come unplugged. So whatever you put in this shelf, make sure you got it so it doesn't unplug that dongle from the cord. Let's talk about what we're looking at in the monitor. Right here, this line, once it's calibrated, that's going to represent the back of the trailer. The second line will be 40 foot behind the trailer. The third line, the green line, that's going to be another 40 foot, a total of 80 foot behind the trailer. Gives us a good indication when it's safe to move over. If a car's behind that green, we know he's at least 80 foot behind us. That's a safe time to move over. If a car's coming through that line those lines pretty quick, we don't need to make that move at that point. I'm going to go over what each one of these buttons do before we set it up completely. So this top left button here, what that's going to do, it will switch it from daytime mode to nighttime mode. I'm going to hit that button. Let me brighten that up just a little bit. Okay. So it is going to be very important that at nighttime we do switch it over to nighttime mode, not just because it's more comfortable for our eyes in here, but when we put it in nighttime mode, it will put out infrared out there for the cameras to pick up. It will brighten it up where we can see what's going on out there. So make sure if you're driving at night, you have it in nighttime mode. Okay, this second button here is, what that does, it folds in the wings. So I'm gonna mash that. You can watch the monitor here and you'll see what happens. Those wings fold in. We want to do that. Hey, if we're staying at a truck stop at night, let's fold those things in. We've had van trucks back up a little too close beside us and they knocked the wing off. We got them folded in. That helps prevent that from happening. So I'm going to hit the button again. It'll open back up. And we've talked about the third button. That's where you can brighten it or dim it according to how you like it. Let's just see what it is on daytime right now. It's about halfway. I would brighten that on up. We've got two more buttons on here to talk about. We've got a bottom left, a bottom right. Those buttons both do the same thing. Where it's real handy is if we're blind side backing. If I hit that button there, that monitor is automatically, that camera is going to jump out 5 degrees. And then as I'm backing, I can turn that knob and it's going to keep the back of my trailer in view as I'm backing. So this system's also tied into the ECU. It's monitoring your speed, your throttle position, and your steering wheel angle. So if I turn to the left, the camera out there, it's automatically going to pan to the left to keep the back of my trailer in view. If I turn to the right, pans to the right. Whatever speed I'm going, it knows how to track it to keep that trailer in view. So this bottom left button, I have to hold it down. If I hold it down, it will bring a menu up over here on my left monitor. Under panning is where I will change my trailer lengths. two settings that I'm going to need to know. I need to know my wheelbase, and I need to know my trailer length. Everything in this system is based off millimeter. Well, I've changed that over. I've converted that from feet to millimeter, so we'll have available to everyone on their Samsara where you can pull those settings up. So I'm going to scroll down. Here's the trailer wheelbase. I know, just in my head, I know it's 11,400. Set that. And then the trailer length for a 48-foot trailer is 13,900. So the width is always going to stay the same. It will always be at 2,600. That's the width of our trailers. From there, I'll go to return. So the next thing we'll have to change is our distance lines here. That's listed under situational awareness lines, but we want those to match the length of the trailer we just put in. So I'm going to have to go outside. I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm going to set some cones up to get that distance. We'll come back in here and calibrate it. So I've got a couple of cones here. Y'all may not have cones. If not, you can use your triangles or anything that's visible. I want to set this cone directly even with the DOT bumper. So I want it on both sides directly even. Okay, so I'm going to pull my menu back up. Let's remember, we hold down the bottom left button. It'll pop up on our left monitor here. Under situational awareness lines, I'll click on that. I want to set end of trailer. So what I've done, I set that, like I showed y'all, I set that cone directly at the back of the trailer, right at the DOT bumper. And honestly, this is pretty close. I'm gonna have to change it just a little, but it's real close on this side. It's a little off on the other side though. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn this where this line is directly at the base of that cone, right there. It's dead at the base. That would be where the bumper would meet the ground if it come all the way to the ground. So I will click that, save that one. I will have to do the same thing again to adjust the passenger side. From the factory, they're not always even. Once I get those even, from that point on, I will only ever have to change this side. I won't have to change the other side. But I'm gonna go ahead and do it again and do the passenger side. To do that, it's lit up blue here. I'm gonna have to hold the right button until it lights up blue over there. And it's gonna be, you're gonna have to hold for a minute to get it to pull up. There it goes. So now I'm gonna scroll that down. Come on down, right there. I'm gonna click it. Now I've got both sides saved evenly. So that's pretty much all there is to setting it up. That shows what all the buttons do. As long as you have the same trailer, you really don't have to change the settings unless, let's say you've got a load that's hanging off the back of your trailer 4 feet, 5 feet. Then you would want to adjust those distance lines to that point. You always want it to match whatever the farthest point is on the back of your load.